The first thing you want to do is go ahead and fold your paper into two and then mark out your length line plus your hemming allowance of maybe 1 or 1.5 inch. After you do that, you're going to go ahead to use your ruler to put this together. I need you guys to pay attention to this because it would be really important if you do, and your work will come out looking good. At the edge here, I came into the paper by 1 inch and I'm going down to form a line of 4 inches, and we're just going to call that line our bicep line. After we do that, we're going to come down from the bicep line by 2 inches. You can do 2.5 or 2, depending on how low you want the sleeve to be. Then we're going to use our French curve to create a curve like we do for our normal sleeves. If you've not seen a tutorial of how to create a basic sleeve pattern, I have it up on the channel and I'll be linking it up here so you can go and check that out. After we do that, we're going to go ahead now and just make all these lines visible, and then we're going to go ahead and do our round sleeve measurement divided by 2 plus our sewing allowance. So for me here, because I'm doing a drafting on the paper, I'm adding at least 2 inches to my sewing allowance. So you go ahead, measure what you have for yours, and then add in your sewing allowance of 2 inches, 1 inch or 1.5 inch, and then we'll go ahead to put this together. Now that we've gotten that, this is basically a basic sleeve but with some excesses, and then we'll go ahead to cut. Now let's create our petal sleeve. So on the paper here, remember that I said we did this to be folded into two, right? We're going to separate the paper from the middle and we're just going to rule a straight line across from the top to the bottom, and then we'll go out from one side of it, let's say on the left hand side, by 4 inches. You could go ahead and do 5 if you want to. Then I'm going to come from the top and mark out 8. You could do 7 or 6 depending on how again you want the sleeve to come out. At the curve here, I'm going to go ahead and mark out 5. You see how I placed my tape so I could get the perfect 5. After I do that, I'm going to go ahead to use my French curve again to put all these dots together. After we do that, we're going to go ahead and cut out the part that is curved. And then go ahead to discard of the other part that looks like an L. Then we're going to go ahead to notch the center part of this. After notching that part, you want to go ahead now and take it to your fabric and create more replicas of it. So we're going to be creating 4 of this, basically placing the pattern onto fabrics and cutting, but you cut into 4, so 2 for each sleeves. I think you understand, right? We're cutting 4 because 2 goes on one side and the other 2 goes on the other side. Yeah. Now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and close this by the allowance that we left for it. I'm going to be using 1.5 inch and just leave that 1/2 inch, so I'm going to have a space to create gathers at the shoulder part. What I did here was I already gave it a notch just like we did on the paper. I transferred the notch onto the main fabric and the lining piece, so you want to leave a space of like 1 or 1/2 inch. 1 inch is good, 1/2 inch is okay, just so we can sew round, but we're going to leave spaces at this part so we don't touch the notched area whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead now and sew, but you see how my lining is like 1/2 inch shorter than my main piece? That's because I wanted it to drag the main piece when we put it together. Now that we're done putting everything together, this is what it looks like. It looks kind of rough, but it's okay. Just pull out the excesses that you need to pull out. Use your scissors if you need to, but please be careful because this could poke holes into your work. And then what I'm going to do to make my work smoother is to go ahead and iron. Now we've done that, you see how it's looking, right? It's looking good. You like it? I like it too. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and put notched area to notched area, just like you're putting two hands together to form like a butterfly. You're going to put notched area to notched area. Remember that one side is notched and the other side the same. So we'll put notched area to notched area, and then we'll pin this down because I like to pin my work. It makes it more easier to work with and neater, right? So we're going to pin this all the way down. You know, all those parts that have like the spacing and stuff, we're going to pin all of it down to create what? A sleeve. You don't want to pull on anything so you don't have like too much baggage with it. Just make sure everything is sleeved really good, and there you have it. You have your sleeve. This is so beautiful, you guys. I've been wanting to create this kind of sleeve for a really long time, but I didn't want to mess it up, and I wanted to get it perfectly before I came on here to share the knowledge with y'all. I really like how this came out. So like I said before, I'm going to be creating gathers at the shoulder area, so that's why I did what I did when I left the ½ inch alone. That's it for today's video, y'all. Please do not forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you're notified when I post a new video. Don't forget to love yourself because I love you. Have a beautiful day or night, whichever it is you live for. Bye.